Okay, so our next school presentation is Hurlstone Agricultural High School in New South Wales, and our past participant teacher, Erika Dayaganon, is going to present to us. Now, Erika is a teacher in science and agriculture, and Hurlstone is a specialist agricultural high school in Australia. That's quite unusual. We don't have a lot of specialist agricultural high schools. And by the way, Hurlstone is partnered with Warwin National High School in the PASS program. Thinking about STEM, Erika actually trained as a science researcher, and she was then really inspired to come into teaching to encourage more girls to take up STEM. So today, Erika, you're going to speak about how Hurlstone uses agriculture for STEM learning. So I welcome you today and we look forward to your presentation.
Thank you very much, everybody, and hello. Can you all hear me and see me?
There.
Righty, well, you've already introduced me a little bit there, Kathleen, so thank you very much. Hurlstone is an agricultural high school. We are unique in the sense that we have a co-educational boarding and day school where we have students come from our rural and remote areas in New South Wales, and we also have people coming in from our Southwest Sydney location. At our school, because we are a specialist high school for agriculture, we are fortunate in that we have a fully functioning commercial dairy. We have beef, we've got chicken, sheep, pigs, and we also have recently just upgraded into an aquaponics facility as well. So I'll talk to you guys today a little bit about how at Hurlstone we teach agriculture using STEM and applied learning. So now, traditionally, I grew up with my dad as a teacher, and he always told me that teachers are meant to show, to instruct, to teach, to tell them exactly what 1 + 1 equals, and these were our answers, and that's how we would learn. But my understanding has been redefined over the years to be teachers as facilitators. We are facilitators to help, to show, to guide, to let students construct their own information and knowledge, which is what I want to show you today and how we do that here at Hurlstone with agriculture. So at Hurlstone, we use 3 key principles to format our program and our syllabus for teaching. The main one that we use is something called problem-based learning, with problem-based learning, we are opportunistic. Here at school, we have lots of facilities like our sheep, like I said before, our cattle, our pigs, and our chickens, where we are able to provide the real-world scenario for our students. And then as we go through our program and our syllabus, they get to apply their learning to each of those different areas to then construct their own ideas and thinking. Yeah, so again, so we're using the 3 main theories, the way we structure our programs here. We get a problem, or we have our real world scenario here at our school with the different facilities that we have. And then we use applied learning and constructivist theory to help us format our syllabus, which I will go through and show you with a specific example. Here is some brief overview of what we do. Sheep, technically with us, we have lots of facilities for them to go through and do applied learning by just doing practical activities like husbandry tasks. But through that, then we can start to teach them and show them things like sustainable management of chemical use. And then we look at the life cycle of different pests and diseases. So by carrying out different activities or applying that learning, we can help them to learn other topics or STEM topics outside of just the agriculture unit. I was going to say next slide, please, Emmeline. Sorry. But the main one I want to talk about today is, or the main case study that I want to look at today is looking at hydroponics and how we teach that through STEM here at school, mainly because we have our system here, but our partner school over in Warwin National High School also has their hydroponic unit that they set up based off their learning from us and our mentorship and our feedback. So it's been really nice to see what they've been able to do. And I was going to show you. So individually, yes, sorry, Emmeline. So individually, we could teach these topics, as in we could teach science, as in we have the plant photosynthesis, you have the parts of the plant, and you can talk about how they grow and develop. With technology, you could teach them individually about the pumps, the plumbing, the water rates, the probes that we use. You can teach them all these things individually. Engineering-wise, we can teach them about the structure. But for agriculture, because we are fortunate enough, we can actually incorporate all of these different STEM units into a cross-curricular topic. And that is the purpose of our STEM course here, our ag course here, is that we are able to have this little interrelatedness of all the different topics to help us to support the kids in developing not just a science understanding or just an engineering understanding or content knowledge. It's all about the interrelatedness for all of the units to be working together to help form this a true, rich understanding of their content. Let's say next, please, Elaine. And we are able to do this because our content or our curriculum here, in New South Wales is supported by our curriculum that they created. So the New South Wales government have a curriculum that focuses on 5 key areas. The 5 key areas here are highlighted as knowledge, understanding, skills, as well as values and attitudes. Now, the knowledge component in the curriculum is obviously the main content that we have to teach our students, but it's only that small key bit. The rest of these are all to do with how they actually interpret, absorb that information, and then how they apply it to different things with skill. And that's how we test the understanding and skill for our students. So we're lucky in the sense that our curriculum is designed around the fact that, yes, we do have to have a uniform content that we cover, but we are more focused now on how they understand and demonstrate that understanding, as well as the skills they use to demonstrate those. Next, please, Emmeline, thank you. So here is a sample of the program. Backwards. Thank you. So here is a sample program of what we have here at Hurlstone and how we marry the New South Wales curriculum, to our school program. So on the 2 left-hand columns here, you can see that these are the 2 things directly from the New South Wales syllabus. They tell us exactly what we're supposed to be covering in our unit. On the right-hand side, the last column there, the targeted outcomes to achieve by students, that is how we teach ag here at school at Hurlstone. What we do is we interpret the content of the syllabus and we put it into what the students are supposed to achieve or the outcome of their knowledge by the end of that topic. In this specific example, they're supposed to look at sustainable systems in agriculture. They're also meant to look at new technologies and how the technologies influence farming and management and things like that. So for us in our design for the unit, we said, okay, by the end of this topic, we want them to be able to know different technology and the engineered systems, the different hydroponic systems that exist, and obviously the different components and parts and how they work. Now, with traditional teaching, I could stand there and give them a worksheet, I could show them images, I could teach them all of these things. But here at our school instead, and this is how it was done with my students, I just take them over to the farm. No context, no information, and I say, this is the area we're going to be working in for the rest of the year, and I give them time to go and walk around and investigate. They go through. They're supposed to be able to identify all the different parts of the system. Now, they don't have to know the names of these things. They just have to go and look, inquire. And that is the purpose of STEM and obviously applied learning and PBL, is where they go out and they have a look and try and connect all of the knowledge they already have to the topic. So for us, when they go out to identify the system, they're looking at what's connected, the pipes, the plumbing, the water, the structure. They're looking at all of the different things, the technology, the engineering, and then they're going to come back to me and they're going to say, all right, we're going to brainstorm together. What are all the things that you have investigated so far? What is this system? Can we name it or define it yet? Or based off what you've just experienced or investigated? And can we even tell us what the purpose of the system is just yet? Now, technically, most of our school, because they are selective, they are quite capable. By walking around, they can say, yep, we can see water, water's moving through the system, so we believe this has something to do with water and plants. And then we go through and we start to discuss and investigate that a little bit more. After that, we then say, okay, one of the key points for the outcomes was they have to know the different parts of the system and how it actually works. So for them, they go back and they go through and they will start to do engineer drawings and diagrams, and they will go back to figure out how each of the different components and parts actually connect to each other to show how that system actually works to meet that outcome. Now, again, I could say, teach them this is what the pump pumps the water from the reservoir tank to the beds, down the channels, etc., etc. I could show them that and tell them that. But by them going out investigating, the problem was, tell me how it works. They go out and figure out how everything connects to each other and how it's all interrelated. Then we start looking at engineered drawings and start developing their skills in that to actually draw that correctly. So in this scope and sequence here, for this one small section of the unit, the introductory part of the unit, they are able to achieve the skills to technically draw an engineered diagram to scale, all labeled, and I'll make sure that I smash them on that. We have a look at how everything works and connects, so they're able to name everything without me telling them what each of them were, because by their investigation, they go, well, that's a pump. You can hear it, you can see it, and the water's moving from there to the next section. So all of these things they've investigated by themselves by solving a problem. And that is the key, that's the key design of our program, by having a look at what they're supposed to know as a content understanding, and then structuring the lesson and the guidance to make sure that we facilitate them investigating and learning and solving that problem themselves. Yeah. With agriculture as well, because we're fortunate, it's a cross-curricular opportunity for our school students. Traditionally, people think agriculture as, nope, I don't want to do it because I don't want to be a farmer. And it's not just being a farmer anymore. There's a lot of things that come with agriculture, and that has to do with sustainability, food supply, food security. We have engineered systems, we have physics involved in this. Agriculture changes based on geography, and we have to learn from history. Technology changes over time, so we can update and change our agriculture based on that. So all of these different individual topics that would normally be taught in their own curriculum silos. So chemistry would just teach their own chemical stuff, and in history and business, they teach their own thing. We are able to, as an opportunity, to teach all of these subjects cross-curricular with a focus on the hydroponic unit and how it applies specifically to that area. Next, please, Emmeline. Sorry. Okay, and then why do we do it this way? Well, here's my evidence now. We have something called the, we have this research study done by the university, and they're looking at identifying critical features or critical skills needed by our students. And they said that 142,000 job descriptions said that oral and written communication skills, as well as collaboration and problem solving, they're all skills that are necessary in our 21st century workplace, as well as in our workplace. And for us here at school, if we were just to teach the content, we would not be able to support the development of these skills as well. So the reason why we do applied learning here is not just to make sure that we're cross-curricular, but also that we're supporting the development of these types of skills to prepare them to problem solve and critical think, and to be able to apply these skills to any job that they may come up in the future, really. Sorry, Emmeline. I'm running out of time, I'm sorry. This is just some data that I took from the Australian curriculum, and they're the general capabilities that we're supposed to be able to see and achieve in our students as they finish school. And I can literally name every student that I know that fits one of these criteria, and that's based off them learning and applying themselves in the actual field. I can't sit there and teach them, you must have motivation for your own learning, you must do this if you want to be rich or blah, blah, blah. But all of this autonomous stuff, all of these soft skills, they learn through collaboration, communication, and applying themselves in the classroom. And there's one more slide I really want to go through. Sorry, Emily, next one. And it's this one here. This is the last bit. It's evidence about how agriculture as a STEM and applied subject technically achieves a little bit better than the individual curriculum silos that we have here at our school. So in this picture here, or this graph, you'll see that we have some kids who do economics and mathematics, as well as some who do PE and health, so some science and biology type courses. And agriculture on the left-hand side there shows that the results for these kids always achieve better. I have some more for you as well in there, Emmeline. And again, same thing here. There's a bio student, a math student, and then an ag student. And again, our ag results always, for all of our students, tend to be the highest that we get for them because of, I think, the way we structure our programs. And there's, I think, 2 more for you there. Again, same thing, bio, math, and then ag again, always achieving better. And then the last one, I think, so 1 more there, Emmeline. And then the last one, our students, especially for agriculture, achieve in our top 10 of the state. So we always get some sort of state ranking of some sort for our students based on our agriculture unit and how we teach it with applied sciences here. And that was it. I just want to say thank you. And I apologise for the tech mishap there.
That's perfectly fine, Erika. We problem solved it together and almost without a blip. So that's great. Thank you so much for that presentation. And we know that you're going to come back and join us too for the breakout room discussion. I think you're going to be going to the chemistry room. So you'll have to think before that time about how you're going to link in chemistry to what you're doing in agriculture. I don't think you'll have a problem at all. What I really loved about your presentation was seeing the way that you drew in all of those different learning disciplines to the work that you're doing around agriculture. And it was also fabulous to see your partnership with Warwan National High School and the idea of the hydroponic farm being taken up with Warwan as well. So thank you very much for your presentation. It's time for everyone now to have some morning tea. We're going to break for 15 minutes. So if you're able to be back sitting at your rooms ready for our next presentation by Chris Hart and Pauline Suvi from Ayura National High School, that's going to start at 10:45. So I'll let you go off now and have some refreshments and see everybody back at 10:45. Thank you.